Homebrew Wednesday. It's Brad here at Wild Boys Brewery. Long time no see. Finally got my kitchen remodeled. Been busy with that for the last pretty much almost a month. We just basically worked on it on weekends. And we finally wrapped it up. Actually, the painting got wrapped up about 2 weeks ago, and then they said not to expose it to high humidity or get it wet, so I wanted to give it 2 weeks before I brewed. Well, today it's going to get its first test run because I'm not just doing one brew day, I'm doing two. I am doing a big double IPA. It's the Stone and Joy by clone off of the Electric Brewery website. I substituted out some of my own hops that I had, and then I'm going to do a second runnings full bowl and then do a Belgian table beer with that one. So we'll see what it winds up, what the gravity on that one winds up being. I'll probably just add a little bit of honey to it or something like that and just try to get it somewhere around about 3.5% or something like that. It's just going to be a real small beer, using Hallertau Fruit on it for the hops. Collecting the wort right now for my double IPA, and once I get 7.2 gallons, I'll do a 90-minute boil and then do all my hop drops. And then I'm going to keep on feeding the sparge water through it until I collect another 7 gallons. Since I'm only doing a 60-minute boil, it'll actually be like 6.9 gallons is what I usually collect. And once I finish up with the double IPA, I will do a 60 drop with some hops on that one, and then like another one at like 15 or something, or maybe flame out. I think I have to go back and look at the recipe sheet on that one. So that's what I got going on. Show you some hops, show you some wort getting collected, and maybe like a little boil kettle action maybe. Got some new equipment, I'll show that, so let's cut to that. Okay, we're collecting some wort right now. Looks like I got about 2 gallons into the bucket here. Gonna collect 7.2 on this one because it's a 90-minute boil, and then we're just gonna keep on sparging. This is my new hot liquor tank. Got my local craft beer brew shop sticker over the Home Depot thing, so it's a Stella Brew hot liquor tank, or ton as the case may be. As you can see in the background, my kitchen does not look the same. Got some new lights, painted the cabinets, put a new backsplash up, painted the accent wall, new clock, matching light for this one over here. This is the bigger version, and that's pretty much it. Okay, here's our hop drops, and this is thank you to Colorado fly fisherman Travis Tremblay for hooking me up with a couple extra hop shots. Gonna use this for the 90-minute boil. Got it soaking in some hot water because it was in the freezer until this morning. 90 minutes is gonna be 2 ounces of Cascade. Well, actually, the 90 minutes is gonna be first wort hop. They do mash hopping. I'm not really all that impressed with the results of mash hopping, so anytime I see mash hopping on a recipe, I always just do first wort hopping with it. They're not using Cascade on the Electric Brewery website. They're using something else. I had a bunch of Cascade, so I just want to use that up. Next drop's going to be 15 minutes, and I'm hitting it with Amarillo Simcoe Cascade in Columbus, World Flock Yeast Nutrient drop at 15, and then this is the Flame Out Hop Stand drop. Got an ounce each of Azaka Cascade Citra and Simcoe, and then there's a mixture of these different hops, about 6 ounces worth for the dry hop as well. Okay, I'll just run over this recipe just briefly. If you really want to check it out and use what they're doing, this is one of the earlier versions of Enjoy By. They changed the hops around on that thing a little bit. This one is the straight 2-row, half 2-row, half Maris Otter. I knocked a half a pound each off of the 2-row and Maris Otter and added a pound of acid malt to it. It got my pH down to like a 5.4, and I added a little lactic acid to it, and I wound up getting it down to 5.28, and I was cool with that. Ideally 5.2, 5.3 is kind of where you want it to be at. Added a gram of gypsum to it, and one of the things I'm going to do to this one, since this is just 2-row and acid malt, I want the table beer to have a little bit, more mouthfeel to it, because it's going to be really thin anyway and small. One of the things I'm going to do is once I get my 7.2 gallons of wort collected for the big beer, I'm going to add a pound of Crystal 30 Caristan and a half a pound of Care Pills into the mash tun and just sparge over top of it. Talked to the guy down at the homebrew store. He said Gordon Strong's talking about doing all your adjunct malts like that, like your crystals. If it's something that you can mash and get sugar out of it, I think you probably still need to throw that in your mash tun, like wheat or oats or something like that. But as far as crystal malts go, there's no benefit of really mashing them anyway that I can see. They're unfermentable sugars anyway, so I'll just save you some time. I think it's called capping the mash. I might be wrong about that, so don't 100% quote me on that one. So we'll just throw basically a pound and a half of crystal in there, some Care Pills, some Crystal 30, and sparge over top of that to give this beer a little more color, the small beer, and a little more residual sugar so it'll have some mouthfeel to it. That was the only thing I really didn't go over on the earlier comment I was making about it. That's pretty much it. Come back when I got something else to show you. Cheers. Okay, we've just hit our hot break on the Belgian table beer. I did not shoot much footage of, or actually any footage of my double IPA other than showing you the hop drops. Got about 34 minutes left before I put the wort chiller in. It's 45 minutes left on the boil, so we're about 15 minutes in. After I did my second runnings and collected 6 instead of 7 gallons, wind up with 1020 wort. So what I'm going to do, I'm pretty close to probably going to wind up with about 1025 without putting anything in at all. 1030 is kind of your range where you want to be, I think, with a table beer. I'm just going to chuck a pound of sugar in it there at the end, or I may just wait and put a pound of honey in it after about 3 days after it gets past primary. With this one, I think I'm actually probably just going to go ahead and put the sugar in. Get the gravity on up. Unless I change my mind, I'll let you know what I decided to do here at the end of the video. So this one is a table beer. I'll let you know what the specs on it are. It's 1020 with just straight wort. It's collected 6 instead of 7 gallons. Gonna do an hour boil. Hit it with 0.40 ounces, so a little less than half an ounce of Hallertau Middle Fruit. And then I'm going to put the rest of it in at the end. At the last 5 minutes, I'm going to put in the 0.6 ounce. That's all it's getting. This was just going to be just a plain Jane, straight up, easy drinker. Just something to have on tap. It's pretty nice to drink. Probably going to try to shoot for about 3.5 to 4% on it. Just probably just go ahead and put the sugar in about 5 minutes and see where the take a refractometer reading and see where the gravity's at. Try to get it somewhere between about 1035, maybe 1040. We'll see. This is just a second running beer, so it's not. I'm not expecting it to be fantastic, but we'll see. Looked like it's pretty nice. I did the. I collected my wort for the first one, and once I collected my 7.2 gallons, I shut the spigot off. Or actually, I let it keep running, and added the. I had about 2 inches of water still above the grain bed, and I added that pound of Care Pills and that pound of Caristan, which is Crystal 35, to it, and then just kind of took the water from the sparge water and just kind of run over top of it to get it good saturated. I didn't stir it into the grain bed. I just put it on top, and then I took about 4 liters and poured it back. Put my pan back on it and then poured the boil off it a little bit to get that. So basically, when all the wort that I collected from it, I let it go until it started running dark. And I was really surprised. It only took about the 3rd liter. It started getting a little bit dark, and then by the time the 4th liter come out, it was totally different color than what it was when I had collected just the Maris Otter and the 2-row with the double IPA. And then I started collecting the wort from there, and I let it run completely dry. Miscalculated, didn't get quite 7 gallons, which is probably a good thing, because with that beer, it's not going to get a dry hop. It's not getting a bunch of hops. So I'll still wind up with close to 5 gallons into the keg at the end anyway. I always go bigger, more grains, because there's more hops, and I have to add more liquid with the double IPAs to offset the loss from the hop absorption. Even using pellets, you'll still wind up losing a gallon by the time you do a big hop stand and then a big dry hop and transfer it a couple of times. You'll usually wind up with just a little bit more than 5 gallons, which will let you leave all the crap behind. With this beer, I don't have to worry about that because it's got 1 ounce in it, and that's it. That's pretty much it. I'll come back and let you know what the numbers are at the end and what I decided to do. I think I'm just going to put this pound of sugar in at the end on this one and just let it ride. I don't even know if I'm going to do a secondary on this beer. I may just do a 2 or 3 week primary, put it in the keg, and rock and roll with it. So that's pretty much the plan, and I will be back and let you know what I'll wind up getting the numbers on that thing at the end, and I will see you soon. Cheers.
You like to excuse the groceries. Amy just come home with part of our dinner. What I decided to do was use some cane sugar that we use so it'll give it a nice molasses taste. So you see we got a pound on here, and that's going to be going in at 5 minutes. And then I'll let you know what the gravity is when I get it checked. Okay, I've got my table beer ready to go. I've got it oxygenated. I wind up hitting a 1035 after adding a pound of sugar to it at the end. This is the Belgian Ardennes yeast. It's not quite 2 liters. It's about 1.8, 1.9, something like that. I'd say it's pretty active. It only got like a couple hours on the stir plate yesterday, and this thing just like went crazy. See, it's leaked out, and put it inside this little container here, so I'm glad I did that. Getting ready to put a blow-off tube on this thing after I pitch it, and then we'll be done. Okay, it's my first ever double brew day. Wasn't too bad. Had to get up real early and start on it, but overall it went real well. I got 2 beers out of 1 day, 2 beers out of 18.5 by the time you count. It was 17 pounds for the double IP, and then I added an extra 1.5 pounds of crystal malt for the table beer to give it a little color and mouthfeel because I knew it was going to be real thin. Overall, pretty happy. Looking forward to seeing how these things turn out, and get back to you on that, and post an update when they're done. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed watching the video, and I will be back to brewing on a regular basis at least once a month from now on, more than likely anyway. So I will see you guys sometime next week or a week after that maybe, and I hope you have a good one. Happy Homebrew Wednesday. Cheers.